Hi guys, have a great day. Case study. Detroit's resource recovery facility burns about 3000 ton refuse per day, producing 250 tons per hour of steam, which is piped 5.5 km of to Detroit Edison customers, and the utilities beacons heating the plant where it is tied to the utility steam distribution system. The steam arrives at the beacon plant through a 350 mm line and a 500 mm line at 15 bar. This pressure has to be reduced to the usual manifold pressure of the beacon plant above 9 bar before it is sent by existing underground feeders to downtown Detroit. The beacon plant has an additional operating condition as well. Between October and April, the beacon plant supplies steam to the customers on the tie line between the resource recovery facility and the plant by backfeeding through the control valves. Whatever steam is produced by the resource recovery facility during this period is sent directly to the north end of the utilities distribution system. The beacon plant needed control valves on these lines to reduce the pressure of the steam generated and supplied by the resource recovery facility. Besides, the control valve would also have the capability to reduce the noise level is in as much as high volume of steam was going through the lines. In order to accommodate the special requirements of the lines, Niels Jamesbury 300 mm cue ball rotary control valves were installed. They are actuated by Niels Jamesbury BJ 32 spring return pneumatic actuators combined with NE600 electro pneumatic positioners. The whole system is controlled by a Moore Products Micro 352 single drop digital controller programmed to maintain suitable manifold pressure. Source Current 3 1994 Niels Jamesbury Publications. The system has helped the utility improve operating conditions. Question: how was the precise control of pressure and noise reduction achieved? Answer: the Q valve sports a series parallel perforated alternator plates that set up stages of pressure reduction at high pressure drop, low flow, and low opening angles. This gradual pressure reduction reduces velocity of flow, bring down noise level, and minimize erosion. Note: when high flow rate, large opening angle, and minimal pressure reduction are required, the plates align themselves with the flow provided a higher capacity than additional globe wall. We can see in the pictures. So this is the construction of a cue ball valve. Source the valve book. Names Jamesbury publication. So this cue ball valve is reducing the noise by alternator plates. So the next question: what is the noise control mechanism in cue ball valve? Answer: the alternator plates in the flow part of the valve divide the flow into a number of small streams and create the drop in pressure in several successive stages. Subdivision of flow into multiple streams alternates the noise following the principle of acoustic control. This is an example of source treatment. Question: how do you customers on the tie line receive steam from beacon plant during winter months? Answer: before installation of cue ball control valves, the beacon plant sometimes had a another standby steam plant in the winter to maintain a header pressure in the north end. Now the steam goes to the customers on the tie line between the resource recovery facility and the plant by backfeeding through the control valves, means supplying the customers on the tie line through reverse flow because of bidirectional characteristics of the cue ball valve. Question: what is an actuator? Answer: it is a device applying force and motion to the valve closing member, ball, disc, or plug. Again repeating, what is an actuator? It is a device supplying force and motion to the valve closure member, ball, disc, or plug. It may be anything from a simple lever to a hand wheel to a highly engineered electro-hydraulic system that moves the internal closure elements for blocking or throttling. Simple levels and hand wheels are not enough to operate a large valve or remote control valve. Considerable torque is necessary to open or to close large valves. Therefore, a gearbox is mounted to allow manual actuation of large valves. Powered actuators replace manual actuation, and they chiefly rely on electricity and compressed air, and in some cases oil hydraulic system as well. Electric motor actuators are frequently employed to operate remote control valves in blocking and full-fledged throttling control services as well. So this is the diagram. We can see the noise control trim breaks the flow into multiple streams and thereby control the noise flowing following the principle of acoustic control. We can see the attenuator plate in the right side of the diagram, and here we can see the pressure, and this is the diagram. The next question: what types of valve actuators are most frequently used in steam boilers? Cylindrical actuator, diaphragm actuator, van actuator. Question: how does the cylindrical actuator operate? Answer: it is operated either pneumatically or hydraulically. A piston moves inside a cylinder by pneumatic or hydraulic pressure. They can be single acting, means equipped with a return spring, or double acting using air or oil pressure for movement in both directions. So in this diagram we can see the cylinder actuators. Shown are the Niels Jamesbury unit, rugged and simple in design, with all parts fully enclosed to offer highest degree of safety. Source: the Wall Book, Niels Jamesbury Publications. When used with rotary valves, a linkage system is needed to convert the linear motion of the piston rod into 90-degree rotary motion. The next question: what is a diaphragm actuator and how does it operates? Answer: it is a pneumatically operated actuator that consists of a diaphragm fitted within a pressure case, air chamber, an actuator stem, a return spring, a rail system. So we can see in the picture diaphragm actuator for rotary valves, Quadra Power unit of Niels Jamesbury, and 4.16 is a double acting cylinder actuator. They are of plastic or stainless steel construction of for excellent corrosion resistance. So this is the double acting cylinder actuator. Variable air pressure. Once again I am going to the question. The question is, what is diaphragm actuator and how does it operates? So continuation. Variable air pressure flexes the diaphragm and positions the stem with the aid of return spring. The system adapts well to small to medium control valves. The spring ensures a fail-safe seating or opening force. Also, it helps in relating a given valve opening percentage to a given air pressure. Next question: what is a van actuator and how does it operate? Answer: it is a pneumatically operated actuator using with rotary valves. Van actuator. The actuator sports a pedal-shaped van housed in a sector-shaped pressure casing, giving a 90% rotary motion to the van shaft connected to the valve stem. Van actuator can be single acting fitted with return spring. Double acting means operated in both directions by air pressure. The next in this next diagram we can see the diaphragm actuator for linear globe valves. The next diagram we can see the van actuator. Shows here in the V series model of Niels Jamesbury. Its thermoplastic polyester construction gives it very good corrosion protected. So further question we will see in the further video. Thank you.